I am very honored and deeply grateful for the opportunity to speak before you as a Hibakusha of Nagasaki. I was 22 months old when Nagasaki was devastated by the atomic bomb. My house was 2.9 kilometers away from the blast center. Thanks to the mountains, which somewhat shielded my house from direct impact on the bomb, I survived. On July 7 this year, the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons was adopted at the UN. After the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, under the US occupation, the press reports about the atomic bombing was banned. Hibakusha was left abandoned without any help either from the occupying forces or from the Japanese government. In the wake of the nationwide people's protest against nuclear weapons, triggered by the Bikini hydrogen bomb test in 1954, Hibakusha finally rose themselves to form Nihon Hidankyo, a national organization of Hibakusha. For 61 years since then, we have called for and pursued the elimination of nuclear weapons. To the Hibakusha who wants no more Hibakusha, the adoption of ban treaty gave tremendous hope and courage. We would like to share our joy with the souls of those who perished, unidentified and recorded only as statistics, and with the many people who have gone before us in the anti-nuclear movement, with our supporters in Japan and internationally, and with members of ICAN who received the Nobel Peace Prize for their contribution to achieving the ban treaty. And above all, we would like to express our deep gratitude to the Holy See for its leading role played in many international forums for the prohibition of and elimination of nuclear weapons, and for becoming one of the first governments to sign and ratify the treaty. The preamble of the treaty, which recognized the unacceptable suffering of and harm caused to the victims of the use of nuclear weapons, Hibakusha, articulates the inhumanity of nuclear weapons. By the end of December 1945, about 210,000 people died as the result of the bombing, including many who were killed instantly without knowing what had happened to them. 90% of them were civilians, including elderly people and children. Those who barely survived in the bombing continued to suffer agonies. Even to this day, the loss of their loved ones, survivors' guilt, the scenes, sounds, and smells of the day burnt into their memories, disease of unknown cause, economic difficulty, prejudice, and discrimination in society. Those who were under the mushroom cloud, respectively, of their race, nationality, age, or sex, were forced to die or to continue to live as Hibakusha. As I was only a baby then, I do not remember anything nor can I tell you, or of the indescribable tragedies that our senior Hibakusha witnessed and experienced on that day and in the aftermath. But I was certainly there with my mother and grandfather. Allow me to share with you a little about what my mother used to tell me over and over again. On August 9th, after an air raid warning was lifted, my mother was preparing lunch. I was playing alone on the floor of the entrance. At 11:02, she heard a big sound of an explosion. The next moment, window panes, sliding doors, and clay walls inside our house were all blown to pieces by the blast. A pile of mud and dust over 30 centimeters thick was left on the floor. Outside, my mother saw orange-colored smoke which filled the houses on the other side of the street. The trees on the mountain side surrounded the city area had turned brown. On the mountain roads, she saw people escaping from the fire, like ants moving down over the mountain toward us. They all looked brown, with their scantily clad bodies burnt all over and with their hair matted with blood and standing on end like horns. The empty lot next to our house became a cremation ground where dead bodies collected by garbage carts were brought in and incinerated day by day. My mother said that everyone soon became numb to the growing numbers of corpses and the stench from burning bodies. What is human dignity? Humans are not created to be treated like this. She went to help medical staff at a temporary aid station, but she fainted at the sight of victims with horrible burns and injuries laid all over the floor. The next task allocated to her was to use a broom to move maggots swarming on the wounds of the victims. They were so numerous and as big as your thumb. The US military dropped a radio sensor with the parachute from B-29 along with the atomic bomb. It was an instrument to measure the destructive power of the atomic bomb, including blast pressure, intensity, and heat generated by the explosion. My mother used to say she wondered if that device did not provide the US military with information about the lives of the people and their families under the mushroom cloud and the preciousness of human life. My mother died 6 years ago at the age of 89. She was in and out of the hospital 28 times due to numerous illnesses, including heart troubles, stomach cancer, and liver cancer. Before she died, I once recorded what she witnessed in writing, but she seemed quite dissatisfied with what she read. She might have felt that no words or expression could describe the hellish scene she had witnessed. Other senior Hibakusha must feel the same way as she did. I always feel hesitant to share my mother's experience with other people, as I know I can never fully describe what really happened. Now that 72 years have passed, the average age of the survivors have reached 81. And we younger Hibakusha must proceed to their work and speak out on their behalf. Nuclear weapons are inhuman weapons. Their blast, heat rays, and radiation cause indiscriminate and incalculable damage, and their after effects last for many years. If they are ever used again, the same suffering that the Hibakusha have gone through will be inflicted on many people anywhere in the world. In Nihon Hidankyo's founding statement, Message to the World of 1956, we declared our will to save humanity from its crisis through the lessons learned from our experience, while at the same time saving ourselves. With this pledge, we have continued to work for the elimination of nuclear weapons. With the adoption of the treaty, a heavy and rusty door has begun to open, and we are finally seeing a ray of light, illuminating a path to achieve our goal. Hibakusha have given testimonies on their experiences across the world, despite the painful memories drawing them back to those 2 days. We know the word public conscience stated in the preamble of the treaty. Public conscience is essential for securing the benefit for the public, human race, and Mother Earth. Power is not justice. Nuclear weapons are an injustice that must be abolished by the responsibility of the humans that made them. It is the role of public conscience and justice to pray and to accumulate small efforts for achieving the elimination of nuclear weapons. We must continue to urge the nuclear-armed states and their allies, including Japan, to sign and ratify the treaty. In April 26, we started the international signature campaign in support of the appeal of the Hibakusha for elimination of nuclear weapons. To date, we have submitted more than 5.15 million signatures to the United Nations. We set our goal to achieve hundreds of millions of signatures by 2020 all over the world by rallying the public conscience of many people. I sincerely ask each of you here today, as representatives of civil society, as human beings with dignity, and as peacemakers, to raise a loud voice from the Vatican for achieving the abolition of nuclear weapons. Thank you very much.